Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. The Forrester legacy has always been draped in silk, shadowed by scandal, and stitched together by love, rivalry, and the occasional well-placed dagger, usually metaphorical, but sometimes not. Yet in recent months, a storm more turbulent than ever before has descended upon the Forrester clan. And at the eye of this hurricane, the ever-righteous, ever-proud Eric Forrester. But now Eric, once the revered patriarch of a fashion dynasty, is facing the unthinkable disgrace. And the source of this humiliation, none other than his own granddaughter, Steffy Forrester, and her unapologetic, ruthless campaign to drive every last Logan out of the Forrester fold. Steffy has never made it a secret that she views the Logan women as interlopers. Brooke, Hope, and even Donna have long been thorns in her side, each staking claims to Forrester men, Forrester fashion, and Forrester power. But while past grievances were often whispered behind doors or aired in private confrontations, Steffy's new campaign has been nothing short of a scorched earth crusade. Boardroom decisions are no longer about business. Every move is laced with ulterior motives. Hope's line, "Hope for the future," was gutted in a brutal boardroom ambush. Donna has found herself slowly frozen out of company events, left off key emails, and excluded from intimate family gatherings. Even Brooke, Steffy's lifelong nemesis, has begun to sense the icy, inescapable grip of exile tightening around her. But it's not just business. This is personal. And Eric Forrester, for all his wisdom and diplomacy, has found himself caught in the middle of a civil war he never authorized. Eric has always been the moral compass of the Forrester family, a designer, a father, a lover, and above all, a peacemaker. For years, he's brokered uneasy truces between Ridge and Brooke, soothed Steffy's tantrums, and welcomed the Logans into the Forrester circle despite decades of bad blood. The final straw came when Donna, his Donna, was publicly humiliated during a Forrester board meeting. What should have been a simple discussion about upcoming couture collections turned into a trial, with Steffy and Thomas teaming up to question Donna's qualifications, her contributions, even her character. Eric, blindsided and silent, could only sit and watch. Later, in the quiet of the Forrester estate, Donna tearfully asked him, "Am I not family anymore?" Eric has always seen the Logans, especially Donna, as part of his heart. And now, that heart is being surgically removed by a granddaughter who claims to be protecting the family name. Carter Walton has always been the wild card. Smooth, steady, and strikingly competent, Carter has danced on the periphery of Forrester power for years. Legal counsel, COO, and once even the romantic center of Quinn's affections, he has held nearly every role in the Forrester orbit, except the one that truly matters, patriarch-in-waiting. Carter has no Logan blood, no Forrester blood either. But what he does have is integrity, vision, calm in a house ruled by passion and impulse. Eric, in his silent anguish, has begun to whisper a heretical idea to himself. What if Carter could be the bridge? What if he could steer the company and the family back toward balance, toward reason? Of course, naming Carter as a spiritual successor, or even CEO, would be a nuclear option. Steffy would see it as betrayal. Ridge might quietly approve, but would never say it aloud. And Brooke, oh Brooke, would see it as too little, too late. Whispers have already started. He's holding quiet meetings with Carter late at night. He's reviewing bylaws, rereading contracts, and reassessing voting shares. The idea that the Forrester empire could be shepherded by someone outside the Logan Forrester war zone is becoming more seductive by the day. It's not just about business. It's about legacy, about righting a wrong, about showing his granddaughter that true leadership is not forged in vendettas, but in compassion and inclusion. Rumors are already swirling in the Forrester corridors. Hope, emboldened by a private conversation with Eric, is preparing to relaunch Hope for the future, with Carter's backing. Brooke is quietly aligning herself with Ridge again, hoping to re-establish her influence. And Donna, once discarded, is stepping back into her power with the quiet grace of a woman who knows her worth. But the most dangerous player remains Steffy. Sharp, driven, and utterly convinced she's doing the right thing, she will not go quietly. If she discovers Eric's intentions, there's no telling what she'll do. The battle lines are drawn, not just between Logans and Forresters, but between past and future, between power and peace, between a dynasty consumed by ego and a new vision fueled by unity. The halls of Forrester Creations are no strangers to scandal, betrayal, and fashion-forward vengeance. But Steffy Forrester's latest crusade against the Logans may have just crossed the line. With the Forrester-Logan war reaching volcanic intensity, longtime patriarch Eric Forrester finds himself caught in the crossfire. And this time, he's not just collateral damage, he's the target. What started as subtle power plays has escalated into a full-on campaign of control. With Ridge momentarily distracted by his eternal Brooke Taylor ping-pong, Steffy has been flexing her muscle at the top of the Forrester food chain. Her agenda? Purge the Logan influence from every corner of the family empire. From Hope Logan's fashion line being sidelined to Steffy's blatant undermining of Brooke's credibility in the boardroom, the tension is thick enough to cut with a pair of shears. And while Steffy frames it all as protecting the Forrester legacy, even the most loyal employees are whispering about what this really is, a strategic power grab wrapped in family pride. But here's the kicker. Eric, the founder and namesake of the empire, is no longer being consulted. Steffy's recent boardroom maneuvers have pushed him into a silent corner, leaving him disgraced and disillusioned. Let's not forget, Eric built Forrester Creations from the ground up. His legacy is woven into every hem and stitched into every seam. For decades, he's been the wise, occasionally indulgent anchor of the family, even when storms like Quinn, Sheila, or Ridge's love life threaten to tear it all apart. But now, Eric finds himself sidelined by his own granddaughter. Steffy has increasingly dismissed his opinions, often brushing them off with a condescending, "Things are different now, Granddad." And after Eric voiced concern over her campaign against the Logans, sources say Steffy flat out told him, "Your loyalty is clouding your judgment." The implication? That Eric's long-standing ties with Brooke, and perhaps his deeper, quiet respect for Donna, are undermining his objectivity. Never mind that Eric has more experience in one finger than Steffy has in her entire stiletto-heeled power walk. What makes this even messier is that Eric's romantic entanglements are tangled up in this Logan divide. His past with Brooke, legendary. His recent rekindling with Donna, scandalous but sweet. It's no surprise that Steffy sees Eric's Logan connections as a threat to her campaign to purify the Forrester brand. But Eric isn't having it. In recent scenes, we've seen the patriarch visibly disturbed by the fractures forming in the family, his family. His voice may be quieter now, but make no mistake, he's watching, and he's weighing his options. If you had Carter Walton becomes Eric's secret weapon on your bingo card, congratulations, you're a soap psychic. The suave CEO, legal eagle, and resident heartthrob has quietly become Eric's confidant amid the chaos. Carter's unique position gives him a 360-degree view of the war playing out at Forrester. He's close to Steffy, loyal to the company, but also deeply aware of Eric's fading influence, and he doesn't like it. Sources say Carter has been pushing for balance, even subtly defending the Logans in closed-door meetings, something Steffy clearly resents. In recent private conversations, Eric has floated the idea of restructuring leadership, perhaps even returning as co-CEO to stabilize the ship. But he knows any overt move would ignite a war, especially with Steffy in full gladiator mode. That's where Carter comes in. With his corporate savvy and legal know-how, Carter could quietly shift power dynamics without raising alarms. Imagine this: a boardroom vote, strategic alliances, a sudden proposal to revamp the company's mission statement, something inclusive, something that GASP embraces both Forresters and Logans, all orchestrated behind the scenes. Still, don't mistake Eric's silence for weakness. Beneath the tailored suits and fatherly sighs is a man wrestling with betrayal, not just by Steffy, but by a family he thought would uphold his values. Watching Steffy turn the company into a family purity testings in ways business betrayal never could. For all his missteps, Eric has always believed in unity. He forgave Ridge time and time again. He embraced Brooke when the rest of the family turned their backs. And now, watching his granddaughter tear apart everything he tried to build in the name of family pride.